Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I wish you all a happy new year and may this year bring good health and positivity to all of us. For those of you who are new to my channel, who subscribed to me recently, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting my channel. And I would love to hear some new ideas. If you have, please post it in the comment section. Okay. Uh, so moving on to the tutorial, I will be walking you through the process of painting a landscape. Uh, I will be exploring the idea of using abstraction in realism and things related to it like simplicity, uh, some tinted tones and so on. Okay, as you can see, I'm using a gray paper. I used a little bit of acrylic gray on a white paper because I will be exploring some tinted grayish kind of colors. So having a gray space is, I think, a good idea. Okay, also we can say I've placed a few figures here and there. This will be a streetscape painting, and I'm following the perspective lines for the background. Using these lines is helpful in order to establish a fairly accurate perspective of the buildings. I will try to make a few videos on perspective in a landscape because placing a good perspective, having a good perspective in a landscape always draws a viewer into the painting. Okay, now the second step, what I am doing is what most painters call as massing. I sometimes refer to this step as base tone because basically what I'm doing here is covering certain shapes of the composition in a transparent looking tone. Okay, I'm using a brown and blue combination for this and a little bit of white. What this gives me is a vision of the end result on how things should look like in the end. Okay, it's always good to resolve things even before we paint them, because this way we can avoid unnecessary brushwork and also hide certain mistakes in the painting. And this is one of the, I think this is one of the secrets in painting realism, that is to paint it in the mind even if before painting it on the paper. If you want to know about the materials, the painting materials that I'm using for this particular painting, please check the description box below because I've given all the details there, all about the materials. And for those of you who have been watching my videos for a long time, you might have noticed that I have been using filbert brushes a lot because they happen to be my favorite ones to use. But for this particular painting, I will be painting using flat brushes a lot because I'm looking for that crisp edges the flat brushes give, and also I can explore some of the powerful brushstrokes that can only be that can be got by using flat brushes. Okay, uh, I'm using only a synthetic ones, and only for the initial massing stage I used bristol hairbrush. Okay, so there is no rule that you have to use a specific brush. It's totally left up to the painter. Whatever brushes you want to use, you may use. Uh, but every brush has its advantages. Okay, I will try to do a video on brushes as well, on how to clean the brushes, because many painters have trouble keeping the brushes for a long time because using acrylic paints, brushes tend to get damaged very quickly. Okay, now I have started building up certain shapes in the composition, and the term abstraction in realism that I told you earlier in the video, I will be exploring that idea quite a bit in my process. So you might ask, what is abstraction? Well, there are hundreds of meanings for this term, I'm very sure, and all I have understood and learnt and discovered in 15 years of my painting journey is that abstraction is a complex language. It's just like jazz music, okay? I would say visual jazz music. So, if we think in terms of singing, a singer sings using words, okay? And when the feeling reaches its peak, the singer automatically switches to sing just using sounds. So, there are no more words. All the feelings are expressed using just pure sound. I think same concept we can apply here. That is, I'm painting a streetscape using realism, or in singer's terms, shall I say, singer singing using words. But there might come a point where realism won't be enough to express the very feeling of a streetscape. So, this is where abstraction comes into play, or shall I say, a singer sings using just the pure sound, no more words. So basically, I think abstraction is more about the feeling, the very feeling, and realism is more about the beauty. This is what I can say about abstraction and realism, but I don't think I have done enough justice but in explaining this, but I think it is a start for me as well in understanding certain great concepts like abstraction and realism. Now I have started using lighter values on certain areas like buildings and such. I'm exploring a bit of diminished light values. Creating this color is actually easy. It might look a bit complicated when you look at tinted tones, but all you have to do is just mix a bright color, use lots of white for that, and a touch of leftover color from the palette will do the trick. You will have a pretty good tinted color on your palette. Uh, Also, you might see I've placed some random brushstrokes here and there. That is to create a sense of distortion. Having a sense of distortion in the composition will be a great contributing factor to establish some abstraction. Okay, uh, I will also make some more videos on abstract in maybe in the future. So if you have any ideas regarding any new videos to upload, feel free to post in the comment section. Okay, I will love to hear some ideas. If you're a beginner or new to landscape painting, you don't have to listen to all that fancy things like abstraction and all the things that I've said earlier. All you need to focus is on perspective in a landscape, tonal values in a landscape. That is the two most important things I think that a beginner or a beginner should be worried about. And also make sure you paint a lot of master copies of different artists. uh, Paint them at least 2 to 3 times so you will be able to see how they see a landscape. Okay, this way your eyes will be trained, and in no time you'll get better at painting a landscape. Okay, so that is my advice. And back into the tutorial, you can see now I've started placing a lighter value for the sky, uh, painting a sky is just like painting the eyes of a portrait. The sky might look just boring, but it adds completely, it adds a lot in defining a composition. I used to ignore painting skies, but now I've started to give a little more importance to painting the sky because it contributes a lot, and also it takes up the larger space in a painting. Okay, I'm using blue, black, and a little and lots of white for the sky. Well, friends, if you have made this far into the video, uh, why not hit the like button? And also, if you are new to the channel, and if you like the video so far, then please consider subscribing to the channel, and also check out the playlist section later. I have uploaded quite a bit of videos there on different subjects like still life, figures, and so on. And also, if you have any new ideas on what should I paint next, feel free to post it in the comment section. I would love to know some ideas. Okay, and moving on with the tutorial. So one important thing I would like to share with you all is simplification in a landscape. So basically, I think simplification is like talking with a few but effective words. Okay, so in this particular composition, you can see that I have simplified the sky, so there is not much of clouds and things going on. Second thing I can simplify is are the buildings. So generally, modern buildings tend to have a lot of shapes like windows, banners, and other intermingling shapes. What we need to do is go for the big shapes first, okay, and then go for the smaller shapes, reduce the number, and keep some of the shapes which look pleasing to the viewer's eye. Our priority is to create an illusion of the building, and also we need to remind ourselves not to fall into the trap of defining every little detail. Okay, so this way simplification can be established, and also I would like to tell you that simplification is not a easy thing. It will take a lot of practice, and all we need is passion. And if we have passion, then I think it will be our great contributing factor in learning to simplify. Okay. Okay friends, now the last part of the video, that is the focal points. Every landscape, I think there has to be a part in the composition, in the painting, that demands the viewer's attention. It's like the viewer's eye goes across the painting here and there, and but always ends up at a certain area, and I think that area is referred to as focal points. So I'm trying to do that by establishing some darker values. As you can see in the figures, I'm using some blue, black, a bit darker tone, and by doing that a certain focal point is established. Also thing about dark tones is that using too much can actually ruin a painting, so I will try to add some lighter values as well along with those darks, so that things won't go haywire. Okay, I'm also introducing some darker values on the lighter ones, so that things will be balanced. Also by doing this, the other shapes will work together as one unit, so there will be lights, mediums, and darks. uh, this will create a nice balance. And one more thing about streetscapes is there always has to be, most of the time, poles, electric poles or any other things like that. It will add to the feeling of streetscape. So what I'm using is a flat brush and creating a nice pole structure. And now I'm placing some horizontal lines on the foreground, This will balance the vertical ones. So sometimes it's always good to think in the painting process in terms of balance, because uh, too much balance is not good, a little imbalance is also good, but the word balance is a good thing. Okay, now I move on with the highlights. Now this is where I try to bring that spark in a landscape, and one way to do that, the best way, is to place the highlights or some warm tones like red and yellow. In this case I'm using a lot of white for the highlight. This will make things pop out, and a nice spark will be created, hopefully. Okay. Okay friends, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I also hope that this video has been of some good use in your art learning process. Be sure to check out my other videos in the playlist section, like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I also ask that you please share this video with your friends. And to all of my subscribers who have supported me so far, I thank you again from the bottom of my heart, because it's mostly because of you I'm motivated to make more regular content, and I thank you again. And on that note, I will see you in the next video. Take care.